about how Hollywood makes black actors and comedians wear dresses as a way to humiliate them. All the way back in 2006, Dave Chappelle talked about this theory during his interview with Oprah and revealed he was pushed to wear a dress while working on a movie with Martin Lawrence.
There was a recent controversy online, I know you don't spend all your time online, about Kevin Hart wearing a dress in the SNL skit.
I've had Cube, I've talked to Cube, and a lot of people say Cube doesn't pay. What's your relationship with Cube, and what did that opportunity mean for you?
Well, the ungrateful bastards that would say anything about Cube's payment, you shouldn't even talk to them anymore.
All right, let's dive into this wild mix of Hollywood rumors, conspiracy theories, and some straight-up bizarre behavior. We're talking about Katt Williams, Kevin Hart, Tyrese Gibson, and the whole deal with black men in Hollywood allegedly being pressured to wear dresses as some sort of twisted initiation into the big leagues. Katt Williams has never been shy about sharing his thoughts, even if they're controversial or outlandish. Recently, he sat down with Shannon Sharpe on the podcast Club Shay Shay and let loose on a bunch of celebrities, calling them out for being part of the Illuminati and selling their souls for fame.
The Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
Oh, Lord. You don't think they asked Chris Tucker to come back in the second Friday?
Chris was allowed to make the decision. At the time that this is happening, Katt Williams is known for smoking weed. Willie Nelson is known for smoking weed. Right. Snoop's known for smoking weed, but none of us is really known except Willie. And I'm saying, Chris Tucker didn't want to be the poster child for smoking weed. He don't smoke weed like that.
Right.
He in the church. He Michael Jackson's best friend. Christmas. Michael Jackson called him Christmas. You ever met a man that gave you a little nickname like that?
No.
Me neither. Must be the greatest.
Yeah, he went there. Katt is suggesting that fame and success in Hollywood often come with a dark price tag, and those who reach the top are involved in some seriously messed up stuff. Katt especially targeted Kevin Hart. These two have had sparks flying for some time, and this particular interview showed Williams taking shots at Kevin and his rise to fame.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people.
Katt even stated that the only reason he got fame was because he wore a dress and Ice Cube backed him. This refers to the conspiracy theory that black men are forced to wear dresses if they want to make it big in Hollywood.
What's cracking? It's your homie Ice Cube. Just wanted to address a few things. You know, everybody been checking out the internet. My man Katt Williams. You know, first of all, I just want to say, you know, we shot that movie over 20 years ago, so, you know, people have different perspectives, and it's been a long time. I also want to say, you know, every comedian that I've worked with, every comedian that I've put in a movie, I only put them in the movie because I thought they was funny. I thought they was perfect for the part. I tried to put them in a position to win. That's what it's all about, you know. I don't, you know, I look at from, you know, Chris Tucker and Bernie Mac.
But let's get to the center of this, the whole dress ritual thing. This theory, which many have dismissed as a conspiracy, claims that black men in Hollywood are often pressured to wear dresses on screen as a way to emasculate them and keep them in check. Katt Williams, Dave Chappelle, Mike Epps, and even Kevin Hart have all touched on this topic in various ways over the years.
I did a movie, Where's the Money? You can check it out. There was a scene, they asked me to wear a dress. I ain't had no problem wearing a dress. I didn't care, but I knew the rumors. The rumors are black man wearing a dress. So I was like, fuck no, I ain't wearing your dress. Get the fuck out my trailer. And I didn't wear the dress. I wore a diaper instead.
You know what? I was actually one of those comedians that said, no, I wouldn't wear a dress. There's no way I would wear a dress. And then when proposed with the opportunity of what I felt was funny, I said, oh, that's funny, I'm gonna do it. Oh, Kwanzaa is relevant. Yeah, that's funny. She's small. I can do the whole thing. It'll be funny. I think now, knowing about the opportunities that can be thrown at you, it's all about choice. You know, nobody makes you do anything. Nobody says this is what you got to do. This is the only way that you're going to do it.
The idea is that by getting these men to cross-dress, Hollywood is somehow stripping away their masculinity and, by extension, their power. It's like a bizarre initiation ritual where you have to humiliate yourself to prove your loyalty to the industry. Sounds wild, right? But it's something that keeps coming up, and when you start connecting the dots, it's hard not to wonder if there's something to it. This brings us to Tyrese Gibson, who recently found himself at the center of this controversy. Tyrese walked the red carpet at a film festival in Egypt, wearing a bright red dress.
Literally, if I could put this microphone up to my chest, you would hear boop, 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 boop. Are you guys having fun tonight? I need some more energy out of this room. This is the Alguna Film Festival. Will be the biggest film festival in the world, and we get to come here early. This is the 6th annual. 10 years from now, we're gonna say we were here first. Make some noise, guys. This is a big deal. Okay?
As you might expect, social media blew up with accusations that Tyrese had sold his soul to Hollywood and was participating in some sort of ritual. People were quick to jump on the idea that Tyrese had finally buckled under the pressure and joined the ranks of black men who've been forced to don dresses for the sake of their careers. Regardless of the true reason behind Tyrese's outfit, the incident reignited the debate about whether Hollywood has a hidden agenda when it comes to black men in dresses. And it's not just Tyrese. There's a long history of black actors and comedians who've worn dresses on screen, often as part of comedic roles.
Gucci, Prada, elegance, fashion, pure white couches, limos, fashion, dollar signs, wait, did I already say fashion? Think I already said fashion, I definitely said fashion.
Let's take a trip down memory lane. In the 70s and 80s, Flip Wilson was a trailblazer with his character Geraldine, a sassy, no-nonsense woman.
Tonight she comes to us as the average woman. Won't you welcome, please, Miss Geraldine Jones?
Your kiss, honey.
Well, welcome to the show. Won't you make yourself comfortable, Gerald?
I do that.
Would you care for a cigarette?
I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't do windows.
Fast forward to the 90s, and you've got Martin Lawrence's Shannon on Martin and Jamie Foxx's Wanda on In Living Color.
Oh my goodness, I just want to say hello to everybody. Y'all such a good audience. And please, give it up for the queen.
Eddie Murphy took it to another level with The Nutty Professor, playing not just one, but multiple characters in drag.
You know what your problem is? It don't work out. Gotta exercise. Look at me. That's all muscle.
Oh.
You fat. I'm muscle.
Oh, look at my little Bill. He's a little Hercules. Show me muscle again. Oh, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules,
Once you work out,
Hercules, Hercules.
your metabolism starts to speed up. You can eat anything you want. Go on, knock yourself out.
So strong.
Then came the 2000s, where it seemed like wearing a dress was almost a rite of passage for black male comedians. Sean and Marlon Wayans did it in White Chicks, Tracy Morgan and Kenan Thompson in Saturday Night Live, and even Tyler Perry built an entire empire with his Medea character.
I mean, the whole hang-up about dresses in Hollywood. And what's interesting is, listen, when it comes to internet, nothing ever dies. Dave Chappelle had this whole interview with Oprah where he was talking about how when he was filming Blue Streak with Martin Lawrence, the director showed up with a dress and said, hey, I want you to wear this dress. It'd be really funny. And Dave Chappelle's like, I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm not going to wear a dress. Lo and behold, there's an old Howard Stern skit where he's dressed like a woman.
We'll go
he's
back.
Got titties.
Okay.
He's got big earrings. He's got lipstick.
And there's also him in a dress in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, right.
That
was a dress.
So again, when all these people on the internet and in the comments section go, yeah, that's why we hold Dave Chappelle to this high esteem. He ain't never wore a dress. Yeah, your hero did too.
Yeah.
And let me point out something, and I said this in a recent interview. 2 words: balance and perspective.
So, is there something more to this, or is it just a comedy trope that's gotten out of hand? Some argue that it's a form of emasculation, a way to make black men less threatening by feminizing them. Others see it as just another example of how comedy often relies on exaggeration and absurdity to get laughs. But when you start to see a pattern, it's hard not to ask some uncomfortable questions. Dave Chappelle is one of the most vocal critics of this supposed dress ritual. Back in 2006, during an interview with Oprah, he recounted how he was pressured to wear a dress while filming a movie with Martin Lawrence.
When I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in a trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on and, what? The prostitute? No, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in a discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're a writer. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. The pressure comes in.
According to Dave, the whole thing was a test to see if he'd cave in. When he didn't, they quickly came up with a new scene, proving that the dress was never necessary to begin with. This incident left a lasting impression on Dave, and it's one of the reasons he walked away from a $50 million deal with Comedy Central. He felt that the money came with strings attached, strings he wasn't willing to let control him. Kevin Hart's involvement in this whole saga is interesting because he's been on both sides of the argument. When asked about the dress ritual, Kevin initially shrugged it off, saying he had boundaries and wouldn't cross them.
In the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is there something that, you wouldn't do, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. For me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged, so I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on the talk show this morning.
You look good
no to that. Not that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. At the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
But then, not long after, he appeared in an SNL sketch wearing a dress.
The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Kavenshane Wallace.
Wow. Wow. All right.
I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
This flip-flop didn't go unnoticed, and many fans accused Kevin of selling out. The timing was also suspicious, as his career seemed to take off even more after that SNL appearance. Kevin's situation makes you wonder if there really is some kind of trade-off happening behind the scenes, where fame and fortune come at the cost of your dignity. Katt argues that Kevin's rise to fame doesn't make sense, and that he's been propped up by the same Hollywood machine that pressures black men into wearing dresses. While it's easy to get caught up in the drama and conspiracy theories, there's a deeper issue at play here: how black men and women are represented in the media. The idea that black men need to be feminized or emasculated to be successful in Hollywood is troubling, to say the least.
Now, to be clear, a black man taking on a black woman's role, whether rocking a dress or a wig or anything else, isn't about stripping away manhood, not for one person or the whole community. Painting that kind of picture is narrow-minded, because if black manhood and masculinity are so easily shaken by slipping on a dress or some hair pieces, then it's as fragile as it is toxic. But see, what doesn't get enough attention is how these women characters that these black men take on don't really get the respect and humanity they deserve. You see, a lot of the jokes that keep coming back, the stuff that keeps getting repeated in these stories, it's all about these characters' looks, like how tall they are, or their big hands, wide shoulders, hairy legs, or even facial hair. It's all about these features that, in a world stuck on strict categories, women aren't supposed to have.
The history of black men being forced into submissive or feminized roles is rooted in the ugly legacy of slavery, where black men were often emasculated as a means of control. Whether through castration or other forms of humiliation, the goal was to strip them of their power. Today, the idea that Hollywood might be continuing this practice in a more subtle way is something that deserves serious consideration. So, what's the takeaway from all this? Is there really a sinister plot in Hollywood to emasculate black men, or is it all just a conspiracy theory blown out of proportion? The truth probably lies somewhere in between. There's no denying that there's a pattern here, and when multiple comedians and actors start sharing similar stories, it's worth paying attention to.
It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress. Okay, well, I watched all of my friends throughout my entire life be able to dunk a basketball, but not me. So everybody can't do everything. So, you know, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are gonna say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we had Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
Okay.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them.
But it's also important not to lose sight of the bigger picture. The representation of black men and women in the media is a complex issue, and it's influenced by many factors, not just what happens behind the scenes in Hollywood.
Black people, for the love of God, let's have balance and perspective. First of all, men in drag has been an old comedy staple since comedy. And Milton Berle has done it, Tom Hanks and Bosom Buddies, Dustin Hoffman won an Oscar for it in Tootsie.
Yep.
Fucking Robin Williams destroyed it at Mrs. Doubtfire. And I'm taking a little bit of what Marlon Wayans said, because he did an interview with Big Boy.
Yeah.
And he said, he goes, how do you feel about women in dresses? And what Katt said, he said, you talking to a man that was in a dress. And he goes, why is it that black people have been brainwashed to believe that somehow, if we're artists, and this is what this is, comedy, acting, it's an art.
Yeah.
So why can't we have the same ability to demonstrate ourselves artistically and our form of artistic expression comedically, however we see fit, without being judged for it, without being labeled as, you know, oh, it's demeaning to black men?
Whether or not the dress ritual is real, the conversations it sparked about race, gender, and power are important ones that need to be had. As for Katt Williams, he'll likely continue to speak his mind, stirring the pot and challenging the status quo. Whether you believe everything he says or not, he's definitely got people talking, and sometimes that's the first step toward change. So, what do you think? Is there more to this story than meets the eye, or is it just another wild conspiracy theory? Either way, it's a conversation that's not going away anytime soon. That's it for now. Don't forget to tell us what you think in the comments below. For more updates, hit the bell icon